You are watching VGL Season 1 Week 2 action. My name is Spectre. I'll be casting a very exciting matchup. One of the matchups, probably one of the most highly anticipated matchups we've had so far. And this is DudeFromBrzl and his partner Celo versus another Zerg team, Mord and his partner Satchmo. Now, interesting story here. Mord, a former VGL champion, here with an alternate teammate from what we're used to seeing him. And Celo, also a two-time semifinalist, and DudeFromBrzl, a finalist who actually lost to Mord in the finals. Of course, Mord moving on to be the champion. So a very interesting matchup here. And Celo also, I believe, was eliminated in one of those semifinal matches by Mord. So a lot of history here for DudeFromBrzl and Celo versus Mord. Satchmo, unfortunately, just kind of inheriting all of that pain and anger on the other side. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. It's also quadruple Zerg, which means that I'm expecting to have this pretty much wrapped up in the next 15 minutes, because I can't imagine it going on for that long with so much Zerg going on here. DudeFromBrzl doing some early scouting. We see also another worker going out for Mord. He's also going to go take a look, see what he finds. Celo and everyone just so far macroing up here. We don't see any early speedlings. Looks like everyone's kind of just playing along. Take a look at production tab. It looks fairly the same across the board. Everyone's grabbing gas at the same time. We've got spawning pools down everywhere, with the exception of DudeFromBrzl. He just put his down. I mean, it's almost mirror builds here. You can tell, you can kind of use this as a scale, this production tab here, and kind of see how DudeFromBrzl is a little bit ahead in some regards, but he's a little bit behind on the spawning pool. So a little interesting metric there, since we have so many Zergs here. Just look at this mini-map. We have overlords everywhere. Just everywhere hanging out. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the air show going on here. It's like the Super Bowl, and you have too many Goodyear blimps flying around. I mean, everywhere you look, you've got overlords. And it's definitely going to be a very interesting race to see what goes on. So far, pretty timid play. I'm surprised. I thought for sure we would have seen some Zerglings by now. Of course, DudeFromBrzl and Celo famously, or infamously, depending on which end you're on, did a dual 6-pool rush in week 1 against Chris Justice and Nasty with it, and it was not well received by the community. But hey, as DudeFromBrzl says, a W is a W, and he'll definitely want to take one out here. Both of these teams coming into this undefeated, so this is also a big test for both teams to see where they stand early on in the season. And do see a Roach Warren coming up from DudeFromBrzl. We have a mirror for, it looks like roaches on both accounts. Go ahead and take a look at production. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Zerglings on the Satchmo Mord side. We have speed being researched across the board, with the exception of Mord. That should be interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the income tab, and we'll see that income's fairly even across the board, with just Mord slightly behind on gas. So army units, we don't have too much to report, just queens really everywhere, and a few Zerglings out for Mord. He's not doing too much with them so far, though. We do see him just kind of buddying up with Satchmo here, running around. We see Satchmo looks like he's going to go for an early expansion. DudeFromBrzl has been hanging out here for a while, waiting to see if anyone expands. He does not have vision over here. So it will be interesting if he gets an expansion here, but he will see Mord go ahead and put down that expansion, and oh, it looks like he just has enough view to take that to go ahead and take that view. So very interesting how he just barely able to scout. Both good positioning from DudeFromBrzl. I do have a little pack now of Zerglings running out, some Slowlings, and Zelnagas are under control of Mord and Satchmo so far. And we do not have any pressure so far, but we do have some roaches coming out. Nice, big, strong roach mass rolling out here. Probably a few lings to back them up. And this is going to be a really interesting play, as so far the unit tab is not really favoring roach play outside of DudeFromBrzl and Celo, which is actually the opposite. You usually see them running around with the lings, and more going roaches at least. And now Satchmo's realizing that they're in a lot of trouble. And you see Celo also running in with some lings. This is going to be very bad. Roach Warren way too late for Mord, and this is a very nice, solid 6.5-minute rush. If I know DudeFromBrzl, he actually intended this to be a 5.5-minute rush. This is not going to go well. They take down the spawning pool. Roach Warren just pops up in time. Workers are dying left and right. It's just a complete and utter massacre here. We see DudeFromBrzl rushing in with his own Zerglings. and this is very, very bad. See, this is going to be very painful for Mord. He's probably going to lose this entire base. It is definitely not looking good at all. He does have an alternate base. He's desperately trying to get workers over there. This entire base is completely lost by a very strong 6.5-minute attack. We do see some more Zerglings rushing in here to back up the Roaches, and just a very strong push here. Excellent timing push, even if it was a little bit late. Of course, not sure if he intended for the 5.5 minute. That's typically what you see. We do have a Spire up for Satchmo, although I don't think it's going to be on time. The resource tab is not looking favorable at all for gas for those Mutalisks. So it looks like it's just going to be a total takedown here. Satchmo's base is just going to go down, and wow, what an early attack, and so incredibly effective. We knew we were going to see some dirty play with 4 Zergs, but this is definitely a very strong Roach-Ling push, and you see them constantly building units, constantly backing up this attack. They really want to make this an end game. They don't want to give Mord or Satchmo any chance to bounce back, and you see them rolling in again and just tearing this apart. I mean, Mord and Satchmo at this point really have nothing left. There's the GG from Mord, and the first game will go to DudeFromBrzl and Celo, who executed a very well-timed, even if it was a tad late, but a very well-timed attack, and handing an early defeat to Mord and Satchmo. Both of these teams are definitely top tier, and we'll have to see how Mord and Satchmo bounce back in Game 2. Very exciting gameplay, though, all around.